I am new to this camp, and from day one, my questions were completely uh, going on differing. And today, I'm at a point where, after discussions with everyone, and I understood that when at every moment, it is important that we need to really understand who exactly is the actor. Uh, and This was something which I didn't do ever in my life till date. And to start understanding this, from where should I start is something now I am thinking. Uh, so if you can guide on that, how exactly to see things uh, is what I was looking for. And one more thing was, in yesterday's discussion as well, we were talking about uh, now I know that I need to really uh, be open and start concentrating on certain things, but we might end up losing consistency. We are not consistent. Like after me leaving from here, I might miss out things. So also guide. Please let us know how to be carrying this throughout and understand and improve ourselves.
Two things you have asked. How to see things. See things as they are. I place a lot of respect upon facts. Whereas the object and the subject are just two poles of duality, still objectivity is of great importance. Really, objectivity means freedom from the subject. Be objective. Can you look at the object without necessarily being somebody? Can you look at the object without your preconceptions and fears and opinions and personal position? And when I say object, I actually mean your life. That is the object to be looked at. We are too close to that object, so objectivity becomes difficult. But there is no option, because there is nothing else to look at. Do you ever look at something that is outside the purview of your life? Whatever you look at is by definition a part of your life. Is it not? Otherwise, why would you be looking at it in the first place? Look at it as if it were not your life. Look at it as if it were a case study. Call that freedom or impartiality or neutrality. Huh? Start from there. Otherwise, truth remains a very distant dream. Most of us do not even acknowledge the facts. In the absence of facts, what is truth? A mere opinion, a fancy, a dream. We do not even know our world rightly. But we have aspirations to know something that is beyond the world. Is that ever going to happen? So that's the advice. First of all, know your immediate world rightly. And there is anyway nothing else to know of. When I say immediate world, what do I mean? Give me examples, please. Your relationships, your emotions, the objects you are related to, quality of relationships.
Our reactions.
Wonderful. Your reactions, your gods, things that you hold in high esteem, as well as things that are taken casually. If it's a part of your world, it's worthy of being known. It holds a secret. Know it and you will learn something. Be it your gods or your socks. Your socks aren't with you for no reason. Just as your gods aren't with you for no reason. There is no other way to enter godliness. The way passes through the world. And when I say the world, I mean your world. Because there is no other world except your world. Your subjective world that must be seen objectively. It's a fun thing to do. Knowing very well that the world itself is subjective, there is nothing called the world, yet you must try your best to look at this subjective world objectively. And you will have great revelations, one after the other. It's a great joy. Then you asked how to let this bent of mind, this state of learnability continue. You said it's the last day, rather night, of the camp, and your questions have been progressing, dissolving, and now you want to ask how to. How to? How to continue consistently with this that is going on. There is an ideal answer and there is a practical answer. The ideal answer would make you look good and would make me look good in your eyes. So I'll begin with that. The ideal answer is just as you had several readings here, continue with the readings. Just as you sang a lot of bhajans and songs here, continue singing. Just as you were with me here, live, continue being with me through the videos. Just as you devoted a great part of your day here to learning and self-knowledge, continue devoting a great part of your day to learning and self-knowledge. Just as you were on a pilgrimage here, continue being a pilgrim. Do this. And it can be done. Though it is an ideal answer, yet it is an idea that can be materialized. There are people who manage to do these things. You too can do this. But somehow, given the way we are, in spite of having the capacity to do this, we hardly ever actually do this. Then how to really be consistent and how to continue to be among the solutions rather than the problems? The practical answer is straightforward. Just as the solutions have come at this moment to you, in these 4 days to you, they will continue to come to you in more days like these. If you want to continue this peace of mind, this dissolution of questions, you will have to continue being in an environment like this. It would be easy for me and also quite glorious and aggrandizing to quickly declare your self-reliance and independence. But it would not be helpful to you. The teacher's work is complete only when the student becomes self-reliant. So in one way it is tempting for the teacher to quickly declare that the student is now on his own, that the student is free. You know, there are several teachers in schools and colleges who give grace marks, additional marks to students to pass them, to make them artificially graduate. That makes the teacher look good, no? 98% pass. All my students are so good that they cleared the exam and now they have moved on to the next level. The teacher can do that. Bolster his image, his pass percentage. But does that help the student? So I might as well say that now that the camp is done, 4 days are over, go back home and continue with the process, the learnings on your own. And many a times, several times, innumerable times, I have said that. But the fact remains that the student needs to spend more time in the class. Whereas it is problematic if the student remains dependent on the teacher for too long. It is suicidal if the student becomes independent too early. A child born after the due date of delivery is a problem. But he still has a greater chance of surviving than a child born prematurely. So I repeat, it is tempting for both the teacher and the student to quickly declare the freedom and the self-reliance of the student. I have done that many a times myself, placing confidence upon the innate ability of the student to now learn, decipher and move on his own. It appears quite heroic, you know. The Guru taught and blessed the student, and now the student is able to fully navigate the world using his own inner light. Sounds heroic, sounds romantic. It's just that it is not happening. It is not practical. The student needs to spend a lot of time, sufficient time, almost endless time in the classroom. And that does not appear heroic. One likes to see the photographs of graduation ceremonies. One likes to see himself in the graduation robes. Those are the photographs we preserve, don't we? One likes to see himself receiving the degrees. But how many people preserve photographs of them soberly attending the classes? There is nothing greatly exciting about attending classes. Excitement lies in quick graduation, enlightenment. Keep the temptation of this enlightenment at bay. Remain a student for very, very long. And that will make you look ordinary, and that will also raise questions upon the intention and credentials of the teacher. Are you getting it? You go to a teacher and both of you quickly declare that you are now free, awakened, and enlightened. That is super cool. That shows both the teacher and the student in a great light. There is a halo around the two of you. The student looks like a Janak, the teacher looks like an Ashtavakra. The student looks like an Arjun, the teacher looks like a Krishna. One book is sufficient. 18 chapters, that's all. On the contrary, if you remain a student for long, it shows you as dim-witted, not very smart or sharp, and also puts the teacher in the dock. How is it so that your student continues to be a student even after decades? Are you a teacher or an exploiter? It appears that you are deliberately not allowing him to graduate. Or it is possible that you do not have the ability to help him to graduate. So both are under the lens now, your ability and your intention. We will need to take this hard route. We will have to let ourselves appear stupid, ordinary, far less than heroic. We will have to continue to go through the apparently boring grind of being a disciplined student. Freedom is attractive. The rigor of discipleship, the discipline of being a good student is not at all attractive. It is very boring. It's a put-off. All you are doing is sitting in front of the teacher day after day, month after month, sometimes decade after decade. And actually you look like a fool, you know. You feel like asking yourself, what am I getting out of it? I was a student. I'm still a student. But this is the way that works. There is no heroism in it. There is nothing thrilling about it. It won't bolster your self-image or your ego. It won't make you feel good about yourself. But this is the way. Remain a student. Attend camp after camp. Follow the instructions. Stick to the discipline. And pay the price. Know fully well what it takes to join a course, come to a camp, in terms of money, time, labor, discipline, everything. Know the price and pay the price. And be ready to live without much excitement. Be ready to live dedicatedly in the process without hoping too much about results. Now it's upon you. I have detailed both the ideal way and the practical way. And both these ways do work. That which I have called as the ideal way might actually be practical for somebody. You look at yourself and decide which way is yours. Are you getting it? Do not forget that even to get a clumsy worldly degree, you had to daily attend college for several years. And all that it got you was A degree that probably didn't serve you much. Even to get that piece of paper, it could be a BSc degree or a BTech degree or a master's degree or whatever. You attended college regularly for 4 years, didn't you? And here in 4 days, we feel we have done a lot. 4 days is just 4 days. Many such 4 days will be needed. And when you would be repeating these 4 days, there would be doubts. There would be doubts upon yourself, there would be doubts upon the teacher. Because time is involved, your labor is involved, your life is involved. That tempting concept of enlightenment is involved. And money is involved. So there would be doubts. And you have all the right to entertain those doubts. You even have the right to fall to those doubts. And if those doubts become too much on you, then follow the ideal way. The ideal way is you go to the teacher shows you the way, points at the truth, and that is sufficient for you. The teacher would not intrude, impose, or discipline you. From a distance, he would simply point at something and then leave you to yourself. This too is a model of student-teacher relationship. You can live by this model as well, if it works for you. But if it doesn't work for you, and you are really honest about your welfare, then simply go through the old-fashioned, boring grind of rigorous discipline. No other way. Subject yourself to the instructions of the teacher. And follow without exception. There is no other way. I understand what kind of doubts it might raise when I say this, because I speak from the teacher's chair. but there is no road to freedom other than veritably becoming the teacher's slave. And I'm using these words with full care and caution. Unless you allow yourself to be practically enslaved, no freedom is possible. Because if you are not enslaved, then you will retain your so-called personal will. And that personal will continue to take you in directions that you are anyway traveling towards. Even terms like being greatly dedicated to the teacher are insufficient. Not even great dedication would do. What is needed is dedication without exception. One exception in 100 cases, and you have lost it all. That sounds unfair, but that's how it is. Make one exception and you are back to square one. Well, we make about 95 exceptions in 100 cases, ordinarily. No? And if all this sounds too much to you, then there is the ideal way. Be your own light. And that way indeed did work for some people. But that way also leads to the great hell.